In the beginning, that was around 1860, there was a federal program to build levees so that they can reclaim the land.
Roughly 1,115 miles of levees protect farms, cities, and people around the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta.
It overflows every year, and so without the levees, it's just like not much of a use.
To tame the waters in the Delta, Chinese laborers from the recently completed Transcontinental Railroad were enlisted to build 4x12-foot dirt mound levees with little more than shovels and wheelbarrows.
There was over 3,000 of them. And then, of course, a lot of them, after built the levees, they stay as farm workers.
When completed, the Chinese ultimately helped transform over 500,000 acres of swamp into some of California's most valuable farmland. But instead of leaving, many stayed here in the town of Locke.
The whole thing about Locke is that we're still currently a living community as well as being National Historic Landmark.
Constructed in 1915, Locke was the first California town built by Chinese immigrants.
And so instantly we felt interested because of the heritage.
At the time, Chinese people could not own land, so they leased it from a man by the name of George Locke, who ultimately sold it to this man, Clarence Chu.
The main thing is to preserve the history of the town.
Despite some minor upgrades, the town has changed very little in the past 100 years. Walk downtown, and you can't help but notice that time has taken its toll on many of the structures. Outside boards are warping, and many of the buildings are tilting. And it doesn't get much better on the inside. So the floor here, it's very wavy.
Yes.
Why is it like this?
Well, because when they first built the town, they want to do a quick job, so there is no foundation underneath the building.
Douglas Xia is the president of the Locke Management Association, and he helps give tours and preserve the Chinese history in town.
Welcome to the Dynasty gambling hall, the Monte Carlo of California in the 1950s.
During and after the 1920s Prohibition era, Locke built up a certain reputation with gamblers and partygoers. For decades, law enforcement turned a blind eye to a number of the businesses in town.
They say that every other building in Locke has either been used as a brothel, gambling hall, or opium den.
Thanks to riverboats and new roads, businesses in Locke made a lot of money off high-ranking politicians and businessmen traveling back and forth from Sacramento and San Francisco.
It's a full-scale industrial kitchen to serve a lot of meals for a lot of important people.
Whether it was grocery stores, boarding houses, or department stores, Locke could cater to Americans, but the people here never forgot their Chinese roots. In fact, the Republic of China even paid for this school, which only taught lessons in Chinese. Today, Locke is a designated National Historic Landmark, so the heritage and the legacy of the Chinese community will live on forever.
This is not a Hollywood set. This is original. This is the real thing.